Well, this is a big development because the UNSC, in its latest report, has named and prescribed Jaish-e-Mohammed for the Red Fort terror attack. As far as saying that one member state noted that Jaish-e-Mohammed had claimed responsibility for a series of attacks, and it was also reported to be linked to the attack on 9th of November last year in New Delhi that killed nearly 15 people. On the 8th of October, Jaish-e-Mohammed leader Masood Alvi formally announced the establishment of the women-only wing of Jamaat-e-Muninat, and however, which was aimed at supporting terror activities. Now, this is now coming across as a big development there as far as that the UNSC is concerned, because what has now been said on part of India as well, that the international community must coordinate its efforts, especially when it comes to ensuring that entities and individuals that are designated by the UN Security Council of terror activities, along with those who facilitate their operations, Bhavtosh, good morning, no longer exploit when it comes to our territory, and especially when it comes to carrying out terror activities, and of course when it comes to the anti-terror operations that continue on part of India's side.
Good morning, Amita. In fact, Pakistan lies have been busted completely. UN Security Council 1267 Sanction Committee has in fact noted that it was Jaish-e-Mohammed that was responsible for the terror attack at Red Fort, in which unfortunately 15 people lost their lives. And it has been mentioned that Jaish-e-Mohammed was the one who carried out this dastardly terror attack. Remember, on 9th of November, there was a car explosion which was perpetually carried out by Omar Nabi, who in fact exploded himself, and NIA in its investigation has said that he was a suicide bomber. Now, despite the best of efforts of J&K police and Haryana police, while at least 6 to 7 members of that module were arrested, Omar Nabi managed to escape, and then in a very calculated and planned manner, there was a car explosion that happened just outside the Red Fort metro station, and 15 people lost their lives. And UN Security Council Sanction Committee has said that it was Jaish-e-Mohammed that carried out. But Amita, what is most worrying is the fact that it has also mentioned that Jaish-e-Mohammed is establishing a women's wing. Now, one of the persons who have been arrested in this case is Shaheen, Dr. Shaheen, who is said to be member of that women's wing. Now, that is something which is a very worrying development. Back to you.
All right, but how big is it a setback also to Pakistan in this case? Because that confirms its participation as far as when it comes to terror organizations are concerned. This is said to be the UN Security Council 1267 Sanctions Monitoring Committee that has reported that Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed, which is a UN-designated terror outfit, Bhavtosh, was behind the Red Fort attack.
Well, it is, in fact, exposes Pakistan primarily because of the fact that though a proscribed terror organization, UN Security Council has in fact put out on record that Pakistan is responsible for the terror attack at Red Fort, and importantly, it was Jaish-e-Mohammed that has carried out. Now, there were a series of posters that were put out in Srinagar and also in other parts of Kashmir. Just around 10 days before this attack took place, and then investigations were carried out by the Jammu and Kashmir police. Now, though members of Jaish-e-Mohammed and Ansar-ul-Ghazwat Hind were arrested by J&K police, Omar Nabi managed to escape, and then at around 7 p.m. on 10th of November, he exploded. There was a car explosion that happened. Now, when the investigation actually started by the NIA, it came out that the Jaish-e-Mohammed and Ansar-ul-Ghazwat Hind wanted to carry out an attack similar to the Hamas attack that happened in Israel. They wanted to carry out series of car explosion along with the modified drone attack, and this was to happen on 6th of December. It was in fact a very good operation that was carried out by security agencies, but unfortunately the Delhi blast happened. But importantly, if you see, UN Security Council also has Pakistan as one of the members. They did their best to prevent this thing to come out in the report, but now it is out and open that Jaish-e-Mohammed was responsible for the Delhi blast.
And how does it expose Pakistan on the global platform, Bhavtosh? Because this was a direct reference to Pakistan, whose government for many years has contended that groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba are defunct and they have been banned under domestic anti-terror laws.
Well, it again shows that Pakistan has been providing all kind of logistical support to Jaish-e-Mohammed. Jaish-e-Mohammed is in fact a terror group that came into existence once Maulana Masood Azhar was released in a swap when Kandahar hijacking happened, and as soon as he was
Well,
released,
just coming back to you,
Jaish-e-Mohammed.
Bhavtosh, Major General A.K. Sivat is connected with us right now. Sivat, sir, this is the UNSC latest report, sir, because earlier theories were being floated of, internal growth of terrorism there. That seems to have now been called out, because this is the very same Jaish-e-Mohammed which had claimed responsibility for a series of attacks, and also what happened last year at Red Fort, which claimed the lives of over 15 people, sir.
No doubt about it. Jaish-e-Mohammed, along with Lashkar-e-Toba, the two main terrorist groups which are operating from the, Pakistan, and they are the ones which are creating problem in India. And therefore, what UNC has now made it very clear that the footprints suggest that it was handiwork of Jaish-e-Mohammed. And there is no denying the fact Jaish-e-Mohammed has got its also certain you can say that cells which are working within the country, though there is no denying there was a white-collar terrorism. So as to how these Jaish-e-Mohammed has managed to enlarge its footprint in India, that is a cause of worry for us. But there is no denying the fact that whatever has happened on the Red Fort, where a number of people were killed, Jaish-e-Mohammed was involved, and India has to go all out. You see, we have to expose Pakistan time and again. It is the Pakistan sport terrorism, which is basically responsible for terrorist activity, whether it was in Pahalgam or whether it was a Red Fort. But the overground worker and sleeper cell which are increasing, that is a cause of concern. And white-collar terrorism which came into forefront. It is internal issue. We have to see it as to how this white-collar terrorism is increasing, because they are the least suspected. The doctors are the ones which are most respected people in the society, but they get involved. But everyone, whosoever is working, they are working on behalf of Jaish-e-Mohammed, and this has become very clear. But and the overground worker and sleeper cell, they must be targeted. And now the NIA so far has been extremely successful, especially in last 10 to 12 years. No major incident has taken place. But what has taken place in front of Red Fort was an eye-opener. So the point today is we have to also change our strategy. We have to understand this, and we must expose Pakistan for formatting terrorism in India, especially both by Lashkar-e-Toba and Jaish-e-Mohammed.
All right. This development is also coming at a time. Thank you very much, Sivat, because this report from the sanctions monitoring team, Bhavtosh, as far as a UN-designated terrorist outfit, formally also announcing the establishment of women-only wing, the Jamaat-ul-Munimat. However, it is not listed, but it aims to support terrorist attacks further. Was that the very mission as far as when it comes to the arrested doctors are now concerned, one of them was trying to carry out?
Yes, Amita. In fact, Dr. Shaheen, when she was arrested, it was found that she was completely radicalized. In fact, radicalized much before Omar Nabi, who was in fact the suicide bomber, and before Dr. Muzammil, who also was arrested in this case. And she was in fact one who provided the logistical support. It's been said that she was in direct touch with her handlers who are based in Pakistan. She has been continuously been grilled not only by the J&K police, but now when she was in the custody of NIA, she provided the logistical support as well as financial support to the terrorists who were later arrested by the security agencies. Importantly, after the terror camps were destroyed by Indian military after in Operation Sindoor, Maulana Masood Azhar in fact had set up various camps where it was decided that women wing will be provided with all kind of support so that they can in fact provide manpower to the Jaish-e-Mohammed, and they were in fact courses that were being provided to the women's wing. Now this is a multi-pronged strategy that has been provided by Jaish-e-Mohammed, and Maulana Masood Azhar's niece is the one who is behind the women's wing. So it clearly shows that Jaish-e-Mohammed in fact has spread its wing. The fact that UNSC report mentions the name of Jaish-e-Mohammed is something which is very dangerous, and also shows that Pakistan is behind this terror attack that took place in Delhi last November.
They had also recently urged the UNSC to adopt a zero-tolerance stance against entities involved in illicit arms trafficking as well. And this call comes amid rising concerns over cross-border terrorism and the recent terror attacks that several of these US-designated terror outfits have been behind, especially when it comes to on the Indian territory. For the moment, Bhavtosh, thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. Back after a short break.